My name is Rhapsody and it's time to lose an unfair run in Classic. I mean, theoretically we might win, sure. But if we lose, we get an achievement, so it's a win-win either way as far as I'm concerned. Oh man, I do like having mana and I do like having healing. So taking Force over Basic or Sasab here feels bad. Let's take Sasab. I don't often do this and it doesn't often make much difference, but there are items that refer to heroes above and below yourself. There's many marginal reasons this can make a difference. Okie dokie. +8 offered items, -3 item quality. Interesting. So the first here is Stone Rain. At the end of each turn, 1 damage to all allies and petrify. No. That feels like it will end the fight quite quickly. During fights 11 to 20, add a rat is on the other side for only a single point. There's also Monster Column. All monsters add 1 pip to their middle column. Small bonus, all tiny enemies such as archers and bees. Add +2 pips to all sides. I think I take that, and the rats. I think that feels most comfortable. Alrighty then. Meddler and Brigand can definitely lock in those roles. Those are definitely useful. Also, Meddler. So the Meddler has a 3 mana side. They have 2 2-mana pain sides, a single 1 mana cantrip side, and then 2 sides that are 1 mana cantrip boned. That keyword meaning they summon a bones when they are activated. Then we have a Healer, Wallop, Brigand, and Scoundrel, ones with which we are more familiar. Let's re-roll. I'll take the pause on the Wallop, thank you. Slay. That is the spell we get from the Meddler, and it kills an enemy with exactly 3 HP. I can't set the boar to exactly 3 HP, but I can stun it. I can take out the bee and set a hero to 5 HP. And then I can defend the Brigand with a burst. I'm not rolling the Meddler again because I really don't want to summon a bones. If at all I can avoid that, seems like it'll be a good idea. Druid and Collector. I do like Collector. Lot of different sides available here. 2 damage Self Shield, 2 damage Growth, 2 damage Death Wish, a 1 damage Duplicate, a 1 damage Cleave, and a 1 damage Focus. Druid also has a very interesting spell. Well, very interesting? A interesting spell. For 3 mana, you can cast Balance, 1 damage to all enemies, and heal 1 to all allies. I might want to have more access to ranged. There's not that many ranged yellow classes, but some of them have more ranged capability, at least, than the Collector here. And the Druid's Balance would be able to hit enemies in the backline. This is to try and meter out the effect of the small bonus a little bit. Okay, Scoundrel couldn't have been reasonably expected to get a character down. So here I can just make that Thorn run away by stunning it and dealing enough damage. 60 achievements have been unlocked. Unlocks 2 things. Tweak Offer for normal and 5% wild modifiers. %5 wild modifiers. Sure. There's nothing else I need to turn on in a similar fashion right now, is there? Yeah, I'll take 5% wild modifiers. What is it? Right-click a checkbox to see what it does. They appear in difficulty offers, etc. Sure. Memory. Revert all changes to the left side or wolf ears. Set max HP to 6. I mean, that helps the wallop right now, but it's not going to stay around and help them for long. I think memory is good. It'll give me the ability to take some items in the later game that I usually wouldn't take because they replace the left side. Got 2 goblins and a wolf. Obviously, we'll focus on taking out the wolf as quickly as possible and stunning a goblin here. Actually, slaying that and bursting it is the same. Well, except I save 1 mana if I use the burst instead, because the enemy was already vulnerable. Yeah, we rolled a bone. I'm not going to risk rolling another one, despite the fact that I did risk rolling another one. There we go, destroy the bones with the Slay spell, and now we just have the Guardian and the Soldier here as options. I'll take the Guardian. Big defense, please. Yeah, well, there's that boned. Thankfully didn't come up again. Scoundrel? Yeah, the Scoundrel actually does roll a result. That's great. I do want to do as much damage as possible to the Alpha this turn, recognizing that I'm not gonna have infinitely long to do that. Soon the Alpha will try and summon other wolves. Okay, so here's something great. I get to cast Balance this turn. Which means the Brigand will be on full HP, so I can give it full defense, but there's also only going to be a wolf left on field by then. We take out the bones and the Alpha. Yeah, this is going to be one of those situations. I thought it was going to be one of those situations where I leave them on 1 HP at the end of the turn, and it would have just been worth my while to go back and roll more. Origami! Oh, this is a fun one. Swap each side with its opposite. So with this, I can swap each side with its opposite and then revert all changes to the left-hand side. So I just got an additional copy of 1 damage to all enemies. I could also do that for Cleave. Actually, I could even do that to get another 3 mana side and replace a 1 mana cantrip boned side on the Meddler. That's probably more important. Got a blind enemy here who will flee if at the end of the turn no damage was dealt to any monster. That's most likely going to be ideal. Sounds good to me. We'll let the blind flee. And then just face up against the ogre ourselves. Oh, there's the bones. I'm happy to reroll because it's not especially likely to just hit it again. Hit him with the balance and then a slay on the bones. I will be losing the Meddler here. Come on, any amount of damage. Mana will work, so will the growth side. Well done, Druid. That'll be the kill. Swap the Meddler with the Druid. So this is no longer Sisab, this is now Ixab. Sure. Whirl and Spellblade. I still want my rogue class to also upgrade for range, and there's more options for that. And Whirl, with its AoE and high density thereof, is one of the better options for hitting enemies in the backline with a yellow hero. So I'll take it. I am just going to kill that goblin, which is probably best done with a slay. Actually, no. Again, I can just do it with a burst instead and save extra mana. Slay is not a very efficient spell. I've been oddly counting as one, despite that though. I'm rolling exclusively for damage here because with the amount of damage we already have access to, I know that I'm going to be stunning the enemy this turn. So defense is no longer important. Okay. Balance, balance, get him. Short Sword or Droopy Hat. Short Sword's been upgraded from tier 2 to tier 3, replaces the 2 right sides with 2 damage. And Droopy Hat, 2 max HP to the character, it is filled as well max HP, and 2 more max stored mana. With the amount of mana that I'm capable of generating, I think that's probably the better item for us. So we're up against 2 Militia and a War Chief. The War Chief is giving +1 pip to all other units' sides, and the Militia will run away if I give 5 shields or more to a target of theirs. Which is great because the Guardian rolls shield 3 engage sides, which would do it in a single fell swoop. Unfortunately, we don't get that. So I'm going to be looking to remove the War Chief here. Okay, this way I get to take out the bones, as well as do a bunch of damage to the Militia. All I had to do was balance and use my mana appropriately. I can make one of them flee. The only problem is I can only make that one flee. Alas. I'll be losing the medal of this fight. Ranger! Hello! Yep, that's what I wanted. Wanted damage, capable of being projected to the back line so that I don't have to worry about small enemies just sitting there and pot-shotting me forever. Sarcophagus. 15 max HP on this boss. They flee at the end of turn 3, and they drop a tier 3 to 5 item if defeated. So definitely worth defeating if we can. I'd love to do it. It is gonna be hard, but also we will just need to do individual instances of damage against it for a while. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, like that. Oof, Sarcophagus is doing an AoE. Oof. I do want the Ranger to get the bigger side than that. They don't, that's fine. If I balance twice... and then burst, I can prevent the Sarcophagus from killing anyone. And then next turn I only need to do 8 damage. 8 damage against a single target before it runs away on this turn is actually not guaranteed. It's not especially easy to actually generate that damage. I'll take the Guardian's largest defense. I'll take the Druid's scaling damage. slain. That'll give me a random tier 3 to 5 item. I've never gotten that one from the sarcophagus before. I mean, it's also the second time I've ever fought the sarcophagus. So I think that's fair enough. But I'm glad to have gotten it for the first time. And finally, we will take the knoll down with one more growth strike. Gained Scepter. Replace the left side with 1 damage lead. Lead, after use, other heroes' sides that share a type with this get +1 this turn. Share a type? What? Replace the left side with 1 damage lead. After use, so after use of this 1 damage lead side, other heroes, so other characters, sides that share a type. What's type mean? It can't mean keyword. Is it position? They share the same position? They're the leftmost? I don't get it. Glowing egg and splitting arrows. Glowing egg adds growth to the left side. I love that one. Especially because I could theoretically now lead. What's it do? Like, this, is it a damage type? Damage spell? You know what? Let's figure it out right now. I do 1 damage lead and now my damage spells are amplified, so sure. It definitely at least does that. Okay, it's just damage sides that got amplified. I think I can guarantee my interpretation of it again. We'll just take out everything on turn 1 there, thank you. Oh, well, here's where you pivot out though, because the Fiend, 1 mana cantrip, and that's its leftmost side. Yeah, I could give that the growth, though. No need for the memory anymore. We've got 1 militia, 3 bones, and a single whiz, trying to summon 2 more bones on the field at the same time. Using Guardian to amplify AoE attacks from the Whirl and the Ranger is, like, their bread and butter, frankly. Come on, Fiend. I mean, you did roll a better side, at least. Burn? Balance. I do love having the Druid and the Fiend in the same party, because the Fiend has Burn. For 1 mana, deal 1 damage to all monsters and heroes. Cooldown can only be used once a turn. And then the Druid has, for 3 mana, Balance. 1 damage to all enemies, and then heal 1 to all allies. So for 4 mana, I can do a damage to all of my characters and heal a damage on all of my characters. Some characters want to have damage dealt to them or to heal damage on themselves, so they get a benefit out of that occasionally. But I also do 2 damage to all the enemies. Take on 2 extra monsters here, both rats. We would get a Compass, Infused Herbs, and a Tankard. Tankard says adds acidic to the middle side, +1 pip for each poison on that character. For what it's worth, Compass would actually be sick. So Compass is really good in this position because I'm capable of doing something like popping a Compass on Whirl and then Memory. So instead of having 2 1 damage cleave sides and 1 damage to all enemies side, I would have 2 that are 1 damage to all enemies and 1 that's 1 damage cleave. So I could definitely see the utility in picking up the Compass. The Infused Herbs, a little less, but it's just a nice, safe tool. it replaces the bottom side with heal 2, regen, cleanse, mana cost. So you heal a unit by 2, it regenerates every round for 2 health from then on. It is cleansed of 2 negative effects, but that also costs you 2 mana. And taking out small additional chumps is not a big problem for us. I'm gonna accept this. Polished Emerald. Gaining effects of all other tier 2 to 4 items on all other heroes. Glowing Egg is... Scepter is above that. Or just Pauldron. Change the top and bottom sides, +2, -2. I'm gonna take that. And I'm gonna give that to... Actually, the Fiend should have the most health because they take pain sides. I'm gonna give that to the Ranger, and then I'm also gonna replace the bottom side that was overwritten. And now we have Tankard, which I will leave on the Druid just because no one else has the space to hold it right now. 4 damage would be really good for the zombie, but the only person who's capable of doing that without any modification on turn 1 is our Ranger. Okay, let's start taking out some of these enemies. Actually, do I have to defend specifically the whirl and then take aim at these rats? Yeah, that's the only way to prevent the unit loss. So I took out 2 of the rats. I've earned my items, as well as done some damage to the board, but also the Guardian is about to take lethal many times over, at the same time, no less. Let's lead from the front. So that lead gave 1 additional damage to all of our AoE sites here. So I can do something like that. Unfortunately, I will lose 2 units to the zombie, but I do manage to get out of this fight. That'll do it. Keeper and Dancer. Interesting. So Dancer has 1 damage to all enemies, Rampage, Pain. So it can be used again if it was lethal, but it also deals damage to the Dancer to use. If I could prevent the Dancer from taking damage while she uses that, having that ramp up with Glowing Egg would be insane. Then there's also the Keeper, who's also really, really capable of doing some solid AoE damage. Has 2 sides that do shield 5 with steel, +1 pip for each steel shield value the Keeper has at the time of casting it, as well as shield 2 repel, which damages the enemies attacking the target for the amount that is shielded. Oh boy. I'm leaning towards Dancer because I think it'll be very useful in this fight. Dancer pick. Choose Dancer twice when we get the item Ballet Shoes, which is very useful. A tier 1 item that swaps the leftmost and rightmost side, allowing you to take something that is on the rightmost side and, you know, affect it with a Glowing Egg, for example, which can be quite powerful. Okay, the Lich is trying to petrify our Guardian, and everyone else is just having a go. Oh, sick. Let me throw out a single bonk. And then I have enough to get the dancer to destroy the field once. Defend you so you don't die while you do this dancer, but you do it again. And then... do I want you to do it one more time? Or do I want to protect some of the Guardian's sides? Probably protect some of the Guardian's sides here. Protect the Fiend from that damage, because it doesn't need to be attributed there. And I'll let the enemy summon here, obviously saving my mana for the ability to respond. Via good old burn and balance. Burn, balance. And then... couple AoE strikes there. One last balance to keep the dancer alive, and we've only got 2 enemies with 3 HP apiece. Should be a cakewalk. And it was. Choose a blessing. Wow. Why do I get these? Leyline. 8th spell you cast each fight is free. Okay. Dragon Bite. +1 pip to all heal/self-heal sides. That will heavily influence who I upgrade my red hero into. Scales. Set the pips of the rightmost side to the maximum of the other side's pips. That's a fun one. Here's an example of how that can be fun. Let's put the origami, which swaps each side with its opposite, on the dancer, and then scales. So now, if I roll the cantrip reroll side, I get 4 rerolls, which means the Fiend is going to be getting a ridiculous amount of mana. This is gonna be cool. I'm about it. Well, we hit it. So I'll be rolling for a while. Especially with the Fiend still active. Oh, there we go again. And again. 1 to 5 straight. Roll sides with pips 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It unlocks the item Golden D6. This is a 14 tier item, so you don't usually unlock this. However, it changes all sides to have 6 pips, 5 pips, 4 pips, 3 pips, 1 pip, 2 pips, in the order as are currently shown on screen. Biasing its highest pip sides towards where the best things typically are. Oh, this is exactly what we're looking for. This hand right here. In fact, this hand should probably be in the thumbnail. Yes. So it's only 1 out of 6 sides on the dancer, and it gives me 4 rerolls when I hit it. So it is lucky that it's actually continuing this much. I do show appreciation for that. That is cool, and I like it, and thanks. Oh, it almost stopped right there. And now we're back in the ballpark, baby. I think if we get down to like 2, I should start settling. Overgrowth. Activate growth on a single side 4 times. Unlocks an item, Smelly Manure, which is a 3-cost item. Adds decay to the entire middle line. Well, not middle line, the entire central line, I guess. Central row. And gives growth instead to the top and bottom of the die. Balance. Wizard, cast 6 spells in a single turn. You think I can cast only 6 spells in a single turn? I'll cast another 2. Take it out with someone else. It was a very easy fight. Goodbye, Ghosty. Kronos and Stoic. So Kronos is very, very valuable for this spell in particular, and that spell is Tick. 1 damage, weaken, cleave. So for 4 mana, I do 1 damage to 3 targets, but I also take 1 pip away from all the things they were intending to do that turn. However, I might not want to upgrade the Fiends. It's possible that it's way better for me to actually just keep the combo that I currently have access to and upgrade other characters. The Stoic is always pretty good. Nothing wrong with a Stoic. Let's give the Stoic the acidic middle side, so if they defend poison off of other characters, they become more potent, and also they'll have a 4 damage self-shield side. But yes, I do want to leave myself still open to the possibility of lucking the hell out. I don't trust that I'm going to hit the reroll side right now. Oh, I did. Buh. Oh, and again. I guess I should have been re-rolling it. Now I'll never hit it again. Now my time is over. Legitimately, I'm not gonna hit it again. Oh, that's so mean. Let's kill that knoll. Prevent the rat from doing anything ever. Burn and balance. Oh. Okay, I'll just balance, actually, and keep my fiend alive. Woof. Both doing big old AoEs. Well, they did their best side here. They really popped off, can't deny that. Stoic, you can actually straight up stun an enemy. If I use balance first, I can then burn, giving me the ability to take out the bottom line with 3 damage on my whirl, and then heal off of, as well as stun the demon on the top line. Oh, no one messes with the Stoic at all. Stoic does not care. Caster. Cast 200 spells. Unlocks the monster Banshee. Ugh, I can't say I've been missing the Banshee. Banshee is a 10 health monster that has 2 sides that do 4 damage weaken, 2 sides that have 5 damage descend, which means it also hits the target below the original target, and 2 3 damage poison sides. But here's what really sucks. After the first ability is used each turn, 1 damage to all enemies. You can't cast spells. Reroll the class of dancer? No, thank you. Pair of Kings. Adds pair to the top and the bottom sides, times 2 if it has the same pip value as the last thing used this turn. Or learn charge, shield 2, boost. Single cast, you can only do it once a fight, but boost is +2 to all pips of this for this turn. That's what I'm going for, thank you. I feel like I don't usually want lead. I also don't care about the +1 pips right now. Up against 3 thorns, 1 rat, a chomp. Chomp again has 5 health that do 1 damage to the bottommost enemy when removed, and 5 health that does it to the topmost enemy. And then Carrier, who starts poison for 2 and is trying to poison all of our units. Mass hysteria. The idle mind is the devil's playground. Stoic, do you want to help me out here? No, cool. Just keep re-rolling then. Yeah, it does come down to this, don't it? Let's have a look at this. If I lead my way into battle, and then I take the damage away from the dancer, and then the dancer takes pain and thorns to do a bunch of damage to enemies? Yeah, the Stoic's gonna go down. But at the same rate, this is probably the fastest way for me to win the fight. I'll only lose 2 characters in the fray. I think that's worth it. Doctor. Doctor would actually be really good to improve with the old Dragon pipe. Doctor has 2 signs that do heal 2 regen, 2 signs that heal 2 and give mana gain, and then also has Liquor for 3 mana, heal 10, cleanse, barely Noah. 1 damage to all heroes and monsters poison on the leftmost side as well, which can be replaced with the Scepter, happily. And then Artificer if I want to run out of mana. Yeah, it's probably more important to have the 3 damage to all enemies by base here with the Pauldron rather than have the ability to defend with Whirl. Up against Tarantus, there's an extra spider in this, sorry, an extra rat in this fight. I will happily take the mana from the good doctor. Any recommendations you could possibly have? Going to quickly charge the Quell there. Burn some enemies, and then use Liquor in order to remove all of the poison that the Stoic is about to reveal, as well as prevent them from taking any damage. Or prevent them from dying, rather, to the damage. Well, hits their best side. Doctor hits a really good side as well. I'd love to be hitting my regen side and using that consistently right now. That's going to be difficult to do until Tarantus is stunned in some way. We managed to heal the Stoic all the way back up to a glorious height of 3. Oh, this'll help. This'll help a lot. Now the Stoic is regenerating 3 health at the end of every round and also takes the hit of basically whoever. Happily. All the time. Oh, this is great. Getting a lot of mana from the Fiend now. I'm gonna want to keep the Doctor around more than the Stoic for the rest of this fight. So I'm gonna have the redirections start taking place. And then the damage, the death will be redirected there. Cool, cool. Fairy Dust, replace all blank sides with 3 mana. It doesn't really have much space for us. And then Olympian Trident. That's cleaved to the middle side. That would be pretty good instead of Tankard. Gives us the ability to defend 3 other characters at the same time with Stoic, so we can just try and focus on keeping the Stoic alive individually, or rather, sacrificing the Stoic. That's also fine. No problem with sacrificing the Stoic. Far be it for me to make you think that I give a heck and or a dang about that. Okay, with all these rerolls, I'm now going to pull the Stoic back out to try and hit a better side. Obviously, I'm looking for the cleave. The cleave. There we are. Cleave redirect. Which actually doesn't matter at all because only the Stoic is being targeted this turn, so it literally only makes 1 armor's worth of difference. I've also just realized that I already have very lethal. Just gotta boost the whirl. Victory! Plus, 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 plus. Unlocks a mode. Dream. Sorcerer. 1 mana cantrip sides. You know what that means. Yoink. Welcome to the team, Sorcerer. Don't even remember what the other one was. Immediately deleted it from my head. The Sorcerer is the only important character on that field as far as I was concerned. Up against 2 Fanatics, 2 Cores, 1 Zombie, and 1 Rat. Oh, we do get a bunch of rerolls here on the first turn. I wanted to say already and immediately at the same time. Already. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, so many rerolls. Oh, it's beautiful. Well, hits their best side. This does also, in the midst of all these rerolls, we're not just getting mana, we're also getting the ability to give our other characters reliably the best sides that they have access to. I can't overstate how important that is as an aspect here that is otherwise just... It doesn't seem like the most impactful part of it. But it is. Especially because I can't necessarily even guarantee that these end up on good sides. Like, yeah, I'm doing a bunch of damage right now, but I'm not getting scaling mana. My Sorcerer is still 4 mana growth. 4 mana growth cantrip. As far as I'm concerned, apparently that's a bad number. That's low. That's not even worth having. What are you even doing at that point? Oh boy. Oh, this is doing really well now. That's a lot of mana. Oh, that's how you do mana right there. That's what mana looks like. Oh boy, this screen right now. Okay, 45 minutes. That's what I've got to use as the thumbnail because that's a fun screen. I'm spending way longer doing this than I need to because right now the case is that I do that and then that. And I can just blow them up with spells until they're gone. Time Stone and Collar. Time Stone adds cantrip to the two right sides. I mean, I'm rolling forever. Copycat. Copy the keywords from the previous dice this turn. I'm also doing that. Oh boy. I'm gonna give that to the doctor. So these heal 3 regen sides are also going to copy growth and cantrip. Growth if specifically the sorcerer is just activated, but cantrip at the absolute least. It should be pretty difficult to kill our characters at this point. Chaos. Use a side with 4 or more keywords. Unlocks a hero the ninja. I love the ninja. Has 2 damage dull use as the leftmost side, so 4 damage from that single side, but also double buffs when you increase its pips in terms of the damage that comes out. And 3 sides that have 1 damage copycat. Copy the keywords from the previous dice this turn. Also a dodge. But yeah, we see that did get copied, and it looks like it also copied growth. Yeah, annoyingly, I'm not capable of doing anything about the stoic. The stoic is just gonna die right now. I need the rerolls to go off this turn. I might now be overly reliant on this whole reroll thing that I'm doing. Like, it feels good when it works, but it also doesn't always do that. And it is hard to prepare for when it doesn't. So 1 damage dealt, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. We take out 1 unit. The Hydra stays alive. But I should hopefully be able to cantrip reasonably. One, 2, 3, 4. All right, Hexia. We've got the Wanderer, who has a 1 damage defy side, 1 extra damage to the enemy for each incoming pip of damage. They also have 2 3 damage error sides and 2 shield 2 copycat sides. Copycat sides are also really worth for the whole reroll of everything. But then Curator also has a 1 damage charge side, which would be enough damage to kill the Hexia in a single hit, allowing me to use my mana even if I'm not using my spells. That seems more important. I feel like something else should be given the collar here, I just don't know what. Maybe it's the stoic. Stoic just attacks and self-shields at the same time constantly while re-rolling, and then at the end redirects all damage to themselves. Okay, let's do it. Hexia is going to completely block out the sun from a character here. There's our re-rolls active. Doctor, that is the side I want from you. Get him, Stoic. I love the curator to roll their copycat sides as well. Because I know you have them. Take out the imp and then rat and use 2 copies of miasma to get rid of the remaining minions on field while still doing a bunch of damage to Hexia. I can't guarantee that the dancer is not going to die if I use the dancer anymore this turn, which means I have to lock the dancer in right now. Annoyingly. Let's give some regen to the dancer so that I have to worry a little less. There we go, the dancer gets 3 extra health this round. That should buy me a couple rerolls. Curator, I mean, that's 6 damage straight up against the demon right now. I don't want to snub that. Oh, but with 8 rerolls, do I snub that? Wait, there aren't the copycat sides. I didn't have the other person. Well, the demon is no longer taking full damage to it anyway because the cantrip. So yeah, we want the charged side instead now, which we've got. Yay! Keep on rolling. Keep on rolling, rolling, rolling. Yeah, I'm gonna lock in the dancer right now, actually. Splattered! Overkill an enemy by 10 plus. Unlocks an item, Obsidian Edge. Triples the pip of all damage sides. And then, this side also, Copycat, Cell Shield, charged. It copies the charged keyword. And now I will overkill this enemy by 30 damage. Classic Unfair streak. Get to a streak of 2 on Classic Unfair, as well as 70 achievements have been unlocked, giving us an additional 63 items. And oh my god, there are so many. Many of these are new, that I have not seen ever before. New cool mode has also been unlocked, which is Dream. All monsters can be encountered anywhere. Nightmare is use of Victorious Party from a previous run. Take on fights 21 to 30, no restarts, very unfair. And monsters are lazy scale-ups. Interesting. In the next episode, I'm gonna take Generate out for a spin. All heroes randomly generated. And until then, my name's Rhapsody. The name of the game? It has been Slice and Dice. In the top left is the series playlist for all my content on the game past, present, and future. YouTube recommendations down below. Streaming past are the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. Add above the thank data. Special thanks this episode to Eloise. Hopefully you'll live and enjoy yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.